Here's a question for you. Do you often find yourself in positions of leadership? Do you thrive under pressure? And do you have an innate sense of how to make something bigger and better? Then you might have the gifting of a ruler. Let's talk about it. Welcome to Blueprint Sounds. My name is Nathan Smith. Thanks for joining me. Today we're going to be talking about the ruler gifting, but before we do, I want to give you something. If you go to my website, blueprintsounds.com, you can get access to my free PDF, 25 chart-topping arrangement tricks. Say you go to your worship practice and you have a song that you want to make more interesting. Arrangement is all about keeping people's interest and holding that interest all the way through a song. So you get 25 great ideas on how to do that. You get a couple sentences about why the trick works and how to implement it, and then you get a song from the radio that you can listen to that exemplifies that idea. Again, go to blueprintsounds.com and get access to it. It's totally free, my gift to you. All right, without any further ado, let's jump into the ruler gifting. So if you're just joining us, we're in week 6 of a 7-week-long series about what are called the redemptive gifts. So our scripture for that is Romans 12, and in Romans 12, Paul lays out these 7 different gifts or designs that God gives people. Christians and non-Christians, it doesn't matter. And in order they are the prophet gifting, servant, teacher, exhorter or encourager, giver, ruler, that's where we are today, and finally the mercy. These giftings or designs that God gives us affect our personality, they affect how we deal with others, but most importantly, it affects how we view God and how God deals with us. The reason he gives us these giftings is so that our giftings can complement other people's giftings and we can build up one another and do the good works that God prepared in advance for us to do. So knowing your design is critical in order for you to be everything that God wanted you to be when he thought of you and he made you. So what's the ruler all about? Well, the ruler is designed for freedom, to live in freedom and to bring freedom to others. But freedom isn't anarchy. God designed the ruler to create life-giving systems and structures so that people can thrive in that structure, in that system. So here are some of the defining traits of a ruler. They are excellent at taking a vision, breaking it down into its components, and then administrating those different parts. Not everybody can do that, but the ruler has that free money from God to see, okay, what do we need to do? And then they figure out, all right, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do, this is what you need to do. The ruler does that better than any other gifting, naturally. Another trait of the ruler is that they thrive under pressure, they love it, and they have a tendency to put others underneath them under pressure because they think everybody thrives under pressure. They don't ever consider themselves needy. They don't usually think of, oh, I need this in order to get the job done, because they're going to get the job done anyway. They often find something to do in retirement, or they decline quickly. They want to be working all the way up until the end. Rulers are really good at getting the most out of imperfect people, putting them in the right spots where they can do their best, even if maybe they're not the most skilled person in the room. Rulers are also very in control of their time. They can withstand strong opposition, and they're okay with being vindicated later on, not in the moment. Rulers are natural empire builders. They always are thinking about how they can make something bigger and better. They're all about expansion. Some of the signs of a mature ruler is that they're life-giving to others and they don't push people beyond their limits. They have high moral authority and they're willing to share authority with others. But some of the signs of a carnal or an immature ruler is that they don't know when to let up in life, in work, or in ministry. They don't know how to stop pushing other people as well. A carnal ruler will lead by control, and they're so focused on the goal and what needs to get done that they often neglect nurturing and caring for people. They can be loose on ethics when the end justifies the mean. If something can get done, they might cut corners if they have to. They're always looking for things to do, and they often have a hard time accepting correction from others. They will often settle for their own agenda rather than God's, and because they're so successful in the natural realm, that causes them to fall short in the spiritual realm. The lie that Satan wants the ruler to believe is this: I am legitimate, when I have authority over others. But the birthright, the thing that God put the ruler on the earth to do, is to go beyond obedience and walk into holiness and freedom with God. A great example of a ruler in Scripture is Nehemiah. Nehemiah, remember, is the man who helped rebuild the walls, and he administrated the rebuilding the walls of Jerusalem after the exile. You notice that God picks Nehemiah, who is already cupbearer to the king. So again, he finds himself in a position of leadership. He comes back to Jerusalem, inspects the walls, figures out everything that needs to happen. He has a lot of opposition, both from outside Jerusalem, people that want to attack the walls, and from inside. Tobias and Sanballat are these thorns in his flesh, these political opponents of his. Well, he gets all of it done in spite of all of that opposition, and he figures out how to put people in the best positions to be able to get the job done, which is rebuilding the wall. That's a classic ruler for you. Hey, that is just the beginning when it comes to everything the ruler was designed for. And again, I'll mention, this isn't my teaching, didn't start with me, and so I'm going to leave a link to a series of videos that explains all of these gifts in much more detail. Not affiliated, just a big fan of this person's ministry. I hope that video helps you, and again, if you're looking for a free resource, go to my website, blueprintsounds.com, and download 25 chart-topping arrangement tricks that work. We've got one more week to go. Next week, we talk about the mercy gifting. All right, until then, God bless and goodbye.